Following service in the RCAF, Jim McBride was successful in building Midwest Aviation Limited and expanding operations to include cargo and passenger service and aircraft sales. In fixed-wing and helicopter companies that he developed, including Turbo West Helicopters Limited, he earned a reputation for good management and concern for aviation safety. Born on November 23, 1930, at home on the family farm, James Stewart Jim McBride was one of 3 sons and a daughter born to his parents, Jack and Lillian. Raised on the farm near Benalto, Alberta, Jim's first experience was as an Army cadet while attending school, and then joined the Army Reserve. And as a farm boy, he learned early how to handle cattle and show them at the Calgary Stampede, skills that would serve him well later in life, and he had a chance to meet movie star Joan Leslie. Jim left home at 16 to work in gold mines of the Northwest Territories, then joined the Royal Canadian Air Force in 1950 as an aero engineer. In 1952, in Ottawa, he met and married his wife Ruth after knowing her for only 10 days, and was then posted overseas. Jim saw service in France, Germany, England, and at various stations in Canada, working on Mustang and Sabre aircraft. Returning to Canada while still in the RCAF, he earned a private pilot license and purchased his first aircraft, an Aeronca Champion, so he could log the 200 hours he needed to earn a commercial license. Then he and Ruth sold the Aeronca, added severance pay from the RCAF, and went into business, starting Midwest Aviation Limited in Winnipeg with 1 aircraft, a Piper P-18 Super Cub, and a pickup truck. Dealing personally with William Piper, the head of Piper Aircraft, Jim obtained a Piper franchise and began selling airplanes as Midwest Aviation developed. A flying school was established, aviation fuel sales were added, and a wartime RCAF hangar in Winnipeg was leased to provide storage space for aviation firms. In 1960, Midwest began providing regular charter service for Manitoba Hydro using Piper Comanche aircraft, which Jim often flew himself. In 1961, Jim took an interest in the Bell 47 helicopter. He earned his helicopter endorsement, added helicopter sales to his business, and in 1962 purchased 2 Bell helicopters for use in forestry and Manitoba hydro contracts. By 1967, he had purchased 16 helicopters, including a Bell 205 helicopter for support of firefighting and oil exploration programs in the high Arctic. With aviation safety a priority, Jim introduced a training program for the company to qualify engineers as pilots who were capable of servicing the aircraft they flew. In 1965, a de Havilland Twin Otter was used for passenger service supporting the Kettle Rapids project of Manitoba Hydro. A Douglas DC-3 was then used, followed by purchase of 2 Hawker Siddeley 748 50-passenger turboprop aircraft to expand service. In 1969, Midwest Aviation merged with Northland Airlines, becoming Midwest Airlines Limited, with Jim McBride as president. Service expanded to communities in northern Manitoba and northwest Ontario, while Canso aircraft were converted to water bombers. Activity in the Canadian Arctic by petroleum companies drilling for oil and gas created a demand for delivery of fuel, goods, and services. In November 1969, Midwest merged with Transair under the name of Transair Limited, with Jim as president and major shareholder. To service new routes, the company took delivery of 2 Boeing 737 Combi jet aircraft carrying both freight and passengers. With expansion of the fleet, now having 80 aircraft, service was provided for remote points, scheduled service, and charter flights to vacation destinations. Retiring in 1973, Jim McBride purchased an 800-acre farm south of Calgary, naming the property Golden View Farms, but did not leave aviation. In 1974, he obtained the Piper Cheyenne aircraft franchise for Canada and re-entered the helicopter industry in 1978 by establishing Turbo West Helicopters Limited in Calgary. While still with Transair, Jim became interested in limousine beef cattle and later bred limousine cattle with great success. Eventually, the McBrides sold their interest in Golden View Farms in 2010 and their interest in limousine cattle in 2014. Jim has been recognized for his management skills, concern for employees, for providing service and equipment for customers, and for helping to shape the careers of others in aviation. James Stewart McBride was inducted as a member of Canada's Aviation Hall of Fame at ceremonies held on June 4, 2015.